In the last two videos, we discussed the executive and legislative branches of the U.S. government. In this video, we will discuss the judicial branch, and specifically the Supreme Court. The judicial branch has three responsibilities: interpreting the meaning of laws, applying laws to individual cases, and deciding if laws violate the Constitution. In other words, deciding if laws are unconstitutional. The federal courts were established by Article 3 of the Constitution. Congress has significant say in establishing different courts as needed. Currently, there are three levels of courts in the U.S. district courts, appeals courts, and the Supreme Court. Cases usually start at the district level. A verdict is dropped by that level, and the plaintiffs can decide to appeal to the appeals court. That case is then heard in the appeals court, and once that verdict is laid down by the appeals court, then the appeals court decision can be heard by the Supreme Court. So, in order to be heard by the Supreme Court, a case must be petitioned to the court. Most of the cases that the Supreme Court has briefs for will not be granted a writ of cert. Most petitioned cases will not be granted a writ of cert, which is the next step. Once a writ of cert is granted, legal briefs are presented to the judges. Oral arguments are heard for both sides. Witnesses are called to testify if needed. And if the case involves the federal government, the Solicitor General presents arguments on behalf of the U.S. The court then goes back, has conferences, discusses a particular case, and considers the following things. It interprets the law in question, how to apply it to this specific case, and is that law relevant? Once that happens, a ruling is made, and these rulings cannot be appealed. However, they can later be overturned. For example, Roe versus Wade overturned a case from about 50 years previously. So these rulings can be challenged down the line, but that usually does not happen right away. In conclusion, the Supreme Court interprets law, the law's relevancy to the facts of the case that have been presented, and how that law should be applied to come to a decision on each case that is put in front of the court.